I'll just press record now. So anything you do say may be held against you in a court of law. Just remember that.
And I'm like,
So yeah, I wanted to get you on because you're sort of working with businesses now, and you've sort of merged and you've pivoted away from what you were doing before. So I thought it'd be quite an interesting one. So first off, tell us about yourself. What's your name? What do you do? Where are you from?
Okay, so I am Callum Alexandré Izzard, also known as Callum Weekender. I mean, I cannot wait till I can get my own name back. Don't worry about that, because literally everyone just knows me as Callum Weekender. It's kind of peak. I am from Sheffield. I'm probably known for my for my TV experience, I guess.
Fair enough.
A lot of TV experience, actually.
On a side note, you have to have Weekender on your name, don't you, so people can find you as part of the show?
Well, do you know what it was like when I was like, it's initially like a TV puppy. You know, you kind of just, obviously I was so happy to be there.
Oh, right,
you just like, sign this, do that. Yes, this is a great idea. We do this? Of course I will. Like, that's just the way it is, because you're just so excited just to be a part of it. And then, as the years have gone by, I'm 25 now, and I'm getting known as Callum Weekender still. So, no disrespect, because that's what, gave me the door to where I am, but
you want your name back?
Hell, I want my last name back.
One day you'll get it back, you'll be known as Callum Izzard again.
I know, like one day, but then everyone's like, who's he?
So I've done a bit of reading about you. Actually, it's really hard to find a genuine story just about your journey, because everything's mixed up with like this TV show here and you're on this show there, etc. And then you get involved in modeling. So actually, to figure out where you came from, and that's quite hard. But actually, one thing I found was, going back as far as I could, you was in a talent competition. That's where it seems to have kicked off. That's what I.
Oh, you did. You've done a good old. You've done a good old dig, haven't you?
First off, what's this talent show about, and how old were you?
Oh, which one?
Right, so is it like, I feel like it's in school, and it was a school talent show.
I used to do like a lot of talent shows, anyone that I could get my hands on, really.
Right.
I used to, obviously, my original passion was like performing arts, singing. So I used to do a lot of that.
Right, okay.
To be honest, like, I was actually really good, to be fair. I used to win a lot of competitions. I went to America, did a Kids American Idol, won that. Like,
what?
This is when I was 15, 14, 13. That's what my passion was. Right, and then I think when my voice broke when I was like 15, 16, and when I didn't sound like Aretha Franklin anymore, I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm sick of it. And you're supposed to like sing through something like that, but I just got too fed up.
Oh, fair enough. So that's it. You was a budding singer. And then, everything's changed at that point. And then you're, so at 15, 16, you're going into college, right? 16? No.
Yeah. And then I was like, and because it was always, the same sort of thing, performing arts, like performer, like that was always around me. Like, I've got a lot of charisma, and it's good for something like that. So I started doing the whole drama and acting route then.
Yeah.
And that I was still doing the singing a little bit, but like not as much. But it was mainly focused on becoming an actor at that point.
So, but you went to uni though, right? So you still went to uni?
So then I went to university and studied drama, acting.
Okay. So follow that journey.
And then and obviously, to be honest, so then the end of university came, and I was doing a job as a business development manager at a Brazilian restaurant, which I was actually really enjoying. It was the first, like, I'd been doing bar work for the whole time I was at uni, like in and out of bar jobs, getting sacked because I was going to parties and stuff, but still in and out of bar jobs, nevertheless. And then I was enjoying my first proper job, and then I basically got the call for Weekender.
Right, okay. So right, one question I got about the acting and the drama route. So when you were going down that sort of pathway, did you find that people were sort of supporting you and saying, yeah, you've got this, you're the sort of person that can do that? Or what were they saying, like, you should maybe look at something else? Because you're going to study, that's a big commitment.
I've always wanted to become an actor, don't get me wrong, that was fact, but like, it was ever since my first reality TV show I ever watched, which was Jersey Shore, which is like to me, that was the OG like reality show. And I was like 15, 16, I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, like, that is so cool. Like, I'll go gym now. Like, that was like the beginning of like me, just the television. And then it became like more maybe this is a route. Still doing my acting, but maybe this is also a route. And then yeah, it's like, you know, where I'm in the industry where you know, you can't pick and choose what comes, you know. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but if you sometimes, you know, for me, the call came and I was like, I knew there was a risk of, you know, maybe not being able to go back into the acting route, but I was willing to take that risk to take the chance.
All right, so you get a call from is it Ibiza Weekender that you went straight on to Ibiza? Or was the one before that?
Well, the funny thing is that I've got to tell you this because this is just some madness. So when I was 18, I did a season at INAPA.
Right.
And I was ticket selling abroad. This is whilst I was at uni and in the summer. And I met a lad called Ben, and we was like best mates. We was like, you know, good mates. You know, I only met him for like 2 weeks because he left. And anyway, 5 years later, I'm walking down the street. I'm at uni, just finished uni, and I'm walking down the street, and I get this phone call. And I'm looking, I don't even know the number. I looked down, I was like, hello? He was like, Callum. I was like, hello, who's this? He's like, it's Ben Perez. I was like, he goes, I did a season with, very nice, so I'm 22.
Yeah.
He goes, I did a season with you in INAPA when you was 18. This is 4 years before. Right. And I'm like, 1 second, mate. Get on my phone, I've gone to Facebook. I was like, Ben Perez. Swipe. Oh, you all right, mate? What can I do for you? And like, so, you know, he's basically goes, look, I'm doing the casting for a TV show now. I'm in the TV industry, and honestly, mate, like I've not seen you a lot, but I look at your social media sometimes, and you know, you seem like the kind of person that would, you know, thrive off one of these shows. And I was like, so what? You want me to come to Ibiza, get paid ridiculous amounts of money, get drunk, see girls, everything? He goes, yes. So I was like, boss, I'm done.
Well, honestly, you didn't even think about it. It was just a straight up yes.
Oh God, yeah. Like I was just like, yeah, just straight away. Obviously, it was more like an interview. It was interviews after interviews. Yeah. But like, obviously, I was a bit, you know.
So, I mean, that's a random. The call's random.
Mate, that's what I'm saying. That's some fate. That's one of them fate ones because that's just a madness. And I message him. Obviously, we still speak because he films Ibiza Weekender every year. And I message him all the time. I was like, mate, like I just like can't thank you enough for just the weirdest thing ever. Because we didn't even speak for 4 years, and he's still out of nowhere just popped up. Like,
yeah, but do you not think though that okay, in terms of things happening, so you went to INAPA to do a season, and if you hadn't just gone to INAPA and randomly done a season, you would never have met Ben. Ben would never remember who you are, and would never made that call. So
just the complete knock-on effect of just
this is so that is in line with kind of what I've been talking about with other people at the moment. Is the whole idea of fuck the norm is just follow your own path and take opportunities, and because of those opportunities, it doesn't matter what it is, you don't know where it's going to lead. Sooner or later, you'll find it.
Yeah. I just took the risk because I could have knocked it on the head and gone, you know what, I'm gonna wait for the acting job to come, and it might have never came. And you know, I'm not the type of person to sit back, you know. So I just took the opportunity, and what a journey it has been from there.
So fast forward a bit, then. So you get onto Ibiza Weekender, season 7. Is that right? That's when you joined.
Yeah.
See, I'm good at research. Yeah. You have to admit.
Yeah, you are good. You know more than me, but I'm like,
I'm impressed. So you get on there. What's it like?
Yeah.
Experience.
Just kid in the candy shop. Just kid in the candy shop, but like still reserved because he's like the new guy on the block and he's not trying to upset anyone, but he's still trying to make a name for himself. Like it was just crazy. And like I just loved every second of it. It was just a madness. Like I just think it's you see the Weekenders series by series, and it's like it's just like you see the progression of me actually just being comfortable and going, yeah, okay, I know what, I don't actually care. Like I'm just gonna be myself.
So that's it, though. I think that's another thing as well, not caring what other people think. And so
that's it. Yeah.
I imagine because a show like that is it's really well like watched. Loads of young people watch it, and I imagine when you come off there, people still see you as that person that they see on the show. But actually, when you work abroad, it's very different because it's an environment where you can go mental and you can have a great time. But when you come back, you don't want to be like that 24/7.
Nah, yeah. I mean, it's like Jordan, for example, he is just it made me laugh because like sometimes I thought half of sometimes once I thought, you know what, Jordan, when the cameras turn off, I know he's just going to stop bouncing as much as he does when the cameras on. And he didn't. I was just like, shit, he's full time. He's 365 just going at it, mental.
And then, so how long are you in there? How long are you in there for altogether? Because it's been a while.
About like 4 or 5 weeks.
Right. Okay. So
4 or 5 weeks of just non-stop, just. And
it's not filmed and shown at the same time, is it? So it's filmed and shown later.
Yeah. Which is always the downfall. Always the downfall.
So you've come out. Are you allowed to tell people you run it, or is it have to be kept secret?
No, obviously at this point, like everybody knows I'm going to be on it. Do you know what I mean? Right. But like, it's just like the time we film it compared to when it comes out is just so peak, man. Because like he's probably like 8 months on, 6, 7, 8 months on, and by that time, like every single time I've always had a flipping girlfriend, and it's like, oh my god, the arguments. January comes, everyone's buzzing to watch the series. I was like, yeah, come on, let's
start with the bird.
Shit we done. I'm just here like sat there Sunday night, like sweating.
That's, to be fair. So okay, so you've come out of the show, everyone sees it. What sort of things start happening? Because your life will have started changing by that point, I imagine. People see who you are. What sort of things started happening? Well,
this is the thing for me. Like, this is why I am so happy with everything that's happening, so grateful at the path that I've been. I feel like I've kind of been blessed with it, because my growth has been gradual. It's been over 4 years, 3.5, 4 years, something like that now. And it's just gone that. And it's allowed me to stay true to myself, stay true to everything that I believe in, not change, grow as a. It's allowed me to stay so grounded, and just, you know, it just feels a lot better, and it feels like I've got a lot more of a good connect of people around me, and I'm drawing good people in as well. And I know that the reason I say that is because I know that, obviously, for example, the whole Love Island sort of thing, it's common knowledge that, you know, it's gradual growth compared to instant boom A-list sort of vibe. It's not probably good for not good for anybody's mental, I don't think, and it takes a strong character to be able to handle it. And the ones that don't, no shame on them, but like, it does fucking change their attitude, their humbleness, everything.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just so happy the way I'm, you know, this.
I think you don't, it's not even like, you say it's common knowledge. You can see it though in people, because it must be so overwhelming and so fast. You won't have time.
Yeah, you got flipping bricklayers. You got bricklayers going into Love Island and coming out 3 million followers, $1 million in the, like, it's just,
you wouldn't know what you're going to do.
You know, it's just, you can't imagine what it's like.
So in terms of, I mean, this is where it gets interesting for me, because, so you talking about gradual, you said 2 things that were interesting. First off was the gradual growth, and we'll get to that, because you have changed and you've pivoted and you've started diversifying, which is very, very interesting. The other thing was, you say you're joining good people. So what do you mean by that in terms of their energy, their vibe, what is it about them that makes them?
Well, it's like, when somebody asks me, like, who do you look up to? Like, who is your pinnacle? And I always struggle to find an answer. And I'm always like, who the hell? And it's only because I'm just so supported and, like, boosted by what's going on around me, by my own friends, because we're all trying to do it. We're all supporting each other. We're all trying to get our own, but accepting that there's big enough, that it's a big enough pond for everybody to eat out of. Like, it's just, it's good, man. And I don't, listen, I've said this on my stories recently, I don't believe in this whole law of attraction sort of thing. It's not I don't believe in it. I've never studied it. Sorry, I've never studied it. So I don't like, you know, that.
You don't know about it.
When you get the good people around you, and no one's like, everyone, it's good, man. It's yeah.
No, it's interesting.
And if that answers your question.
No, it did. It was around. I get it though, because I suppose you've got to put yourself in around. You can't just stay around the same sort of people who are going to drag you down.
Put it this way, right? I go to events after events after events and after events, and I will be able to put on my, you know, 2 hands people who like good people, like, who I would go back to talk to, because I feel their vibe, their energy. I'm a good people reader, I feel. Pisces and all that. And And yeah, like you can tell who the good people are. You tell people who support other people and who want to see other people do better, and you can tell who's also not about that as well. For sure, especially because you meet so many people.
Do you find that? So all the opportunities you took following the show, like how do you find that's attributed to your growth? So like, how did you know what to avoid, and how did you know what to accept, and how did you know what things were going to get you to the next level?
I'll be honest, I can't take credit for this one. It's my manager. He's amazing. Okay. My manager, Terry, he's just big up Terry. There's so many decisions that he's just steered me away from, and every time I've just listened to him, and it's always been the right decision. There's been shows that have come to me, like times when X on the Beaches have knocked on the door, and other shows, and I've gone, because I love TV, I love doing it, I love like putting myself out there, like I love it. It's a great platform for me. I enjoy it, and so when something came, I'm like, X on the Beach, yeah, fuck that, let's do it, like that. So I'm like, come on, like, give me the money, let's do it, right? And then other things come, and I'm just like, oh, what, come down? Yeah, come on, let's do it. And it's like, and he's like, no, this is why we're not going to do this, because at the time it's not like right, and this is not right for us right now. But like, he's just, and I can only thank him for that.
And okay, so my next question: so where does modelling come into all this? Because I can't turn around these days without seeing your picture somewhere. I'm not even joking. I saw you on a bus.
Dude, hey, you know what? Everyone says this as well. Like, it always makes me laugh. I'm just like.
So where's that?
Yeah, it's good, I suppose.
Just done reality shows, and then so how does that become an idea? Where does that come from?
Okay, so it kind of starts when you start endorsing products, because obviously everyone, like, once you start doing TV, everyone kind of wants you in their clothes. Everyone wants to put their work out there, wants to put their garms out there, their art, anything. People want to put it out there. So obviously the clothes start coming in. I'm like, oh, free clothes, come on, let's get that. And then so the clothes start coming in, and you used to wear them. You say, all right, I'll take a photo in that for you. And then that, because before I was just like, like a normal lad. I was just posting, odd occasional, not the odd occasional, but I was obviously still a bit vain back even before TV. So I was always posting anyway. But like, I started posting and doing it. And then I was like, started doing like shoots and stuff. And I was like, I actually like enjoy this. This is great. Like, it's good money. It's great. I love it. And then I started getting the big campaigns coming in for like JD, Foot Asylum, like wearing big brands, Tommy Hill. Yeah, it was great. Great.
Sounds really cool. And then, but then, as that then led,
you get the locations you get to go to the best part. Like, it's like a little holiday, couple hours work of the day, night out, brilliant.
Well, it's like, look, it's not an easy job though, is it? I mean, it might look, obviously you get the fun side of it, but it is really hard work as well. A lot of people don't appreciate that, I think.
No, yeah, you do, but I mean, everyone knows every job has got their people, something you're going to complain about. Let's be honest.
So, all right, where are we at now? So you're doing you're modeling clothes. Is that where does the idea for you to start getting involved in clothing? Because that was.
Oh, I like this question. I like this question because, okay, so I can't sit here and lie and go, because I feel like people when they start clothing, like, it's always been something, I've really yearned for, like, my whole life. No, it wasn't really that. I've never like from a small age gone, oh, I really want to create a clothing brand, like really passionate about, like, listen, I love fashion, I love looking good, I love dressing nice, that's a fact. Yeah. And because of the big boom with the whole, everybody wanted to have a clothing line. It was like after Couture Club, everybody was going to do it. It was mad. That was like when they started the reality TV series and the influence. That's when it started going mad, and everyone jumped on it, and fair play to him. So I was like, fuck, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to do what everyone else has done. I was thinking of other things to do. And then eventually I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to do a clothing line. I'm going to do it how I want to do it. I'm going to do it sick. I'm going to do it how I dress. And then, because, people was always commenting on my stuff anyway about the way I dress. So I was like, cool. And then I was on a shoot. And basically, I was on a photo shoot, and there was 3 guys who just started their clothing company who booked me in. Sorry, 2 guys. Yeah. And wait, what am I about? There's 3 guys. My bad. I'm all over the place. And basically, I was having a photo shoot, and they was like, I was saying, yeah, I'm going to start my own up. I'm starting it up. I've got everything going as we speak. I'm just a bit worried because I'm not really like, I'm not good with my. the accounting side and all the stuff you imagine me to not be good at. I'm not. I'm good at the marketing. I'm good at the design, and I'm good at the putting it out, at the promotion, the market, everything, strategy, like everything like that. Just not all that other stuff. And after a couple of meetings, we was like, look, let's make this a thing. We've only been going for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. This is yours. Like, this is yours for the taking, you know. And I was like, and they're gonna obviously they handle all the stuff that I didn't want to handle because the obvious, and I handle the stuff that I want to handle in the office. We've got an office in Manchester. It's sick.
I actually haven't. So that's where we first met. So when we were doing marketing for you guys and we were helping you grow, I actually don't know what's happened since then. I've not spoken to the lads behind it. I've not seen you or heard. I've not really seen it or heard anything because I left the agency I was working at. What's going on with it now then? Where are you guys at?
Well, now things are getting really exciting, to be honest. I mean, we've had setback after setback, as you probably know some of the ones before. Like but I'm not. You know, we can't sit and get down about it because it literally happens to everybody. Like, it's, you know, everybody will find out, because unless you can literally like have somebody at your side who's got a perfect example of a clothing company, you're going to make your mistakes. You're going to make your mistakes like your manufacturers, your market, like, you know, because we had the one before you that would really screwed us over, and then we found you guys, and it was better. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many holdbacks that we've had. Mainly the manufacturers, though, for us. Obviously.
All right. So how do you get over those failures? So you get failures like that. Do you ever get called a really positive person?
Pardon?
Have you ever been called a really positive person?
Have I been called a positive person?
Yeah, you just seem really positive about everything. Like, you don't seem to, like, you said there's failures, and you just like, we got over it. A lot of people struggle with that.
Well, it is, because I just feel like it happens. It genuinely does happen to everyone. And that's the thing with clothing, like, because there's so many little brands, and they pay me for expensive money for shoots, and I'm thinking, and I know that I listen, that's money to me, but I know that they shouldn't have paid me for that, because they could have spent, you know, people make mistakes in this business, and we just, you know, we made our own mistakes, but we're at the point now where we know the business like the back of our hands. We've got a good links on the manufacturer. We've got me fully on the designs with my boy Lee, and it's exciting times, man. We're selling out as well on the regs.
I have to admit, I do like Conjoy. It's a cool brand. It's a cool brand, but actually the energy behind it as well is what really stands out to me. I think a lot of people buy into a business not just based on what products they put out there, because everyone can make products. It's what sort of value you add in someone's life, and how does your values align with the person who's buying those clothes. They're buying more of a style, lifestyle, like they're buying their own, what they want to stand for. So I like
Yeah.
All right, so right now there's another business in here as well that you've told me about. I've heard about it. There's another business. Yes, tell us about
Fresh Heads.
Fresh Heads. So where's that come from, first off?
Right. So, so basically, there's a woman called Cherie.
Okay.
And it's who I go to. She used to do like dye my eyebrows and like give me facials, microneedling, all that good shit for your skin. Basically, she used to do that for me all the time, and we ended up getting really, really good friends and stuff. And I brought my mum and dad down. She treated all my family and stuff. Like, she owns like a cosmetics place, and eventually I was like, Cherie, like I've got all this money. Like, I was like, and I'm really shit with my money. Like I said, because I want to fucking spend it. So I'm trying to buy properties, and I'm trying to do more for the Conjure. But I was like, I need to do something else. I was like, I've got a business. I want to do something new. Because otherwise I'm an idiot. I'll spend it because I'm really shit otherwise. But so I'm making good decisions, but I know what I'm like. So she's like, all right, let's sit down soon. And we ended up just like, it was so outrageous. We basically went out like before. The next day I was like, I'm hanging. I was like, this, you know, when the drinking just gets so bad and you just like in your bed. And I was like, that should be our business. And she was like, yeah, could do, lol. And then it was genuinely a joke, and it was a joke. But she owns a cosmetics company, So she already makes like fat boosters, fat metabolizers, B12 injections. She's already in that industry. And a joke turned out to be a business.
Yeah.
It took us 15 and a half months, sorry, because we had to get extended. 15 and a half months to develop the product with testing after testing after testing, prickly pear extracts, like it was just, a lot of standards had to be met. And when we finally launched it, it was just a madness. And when we finally got it, yeah.
How's that got? Last time I spoke to you was actually you were having a launch night down in Leeds.
Yeah, we had the big launch night, which was really good. That went off. I think we're on like around 8,000 people on Instagram now, and it's like one of those things where it goes, you try it, and you can't try it and then not do it again. Yeah, it's just mental. It's going a lot of the biggest market that we've got at the minute is women middle age.
It was just like a random segment, but I suppose that's when they get to a point where they just start drinking a bottle of wine at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's the ones. It's the middle. It's them ones where they go for like a cheeky just have a couple of rosés on the Thursday, take the kids to school in the morning. They're still peppered. That's why them ones.
do you right? You've had the weirdest journey. Do you not think it's straight? You ever think back and stop and think and go, "What a weird life." Like, you've had such a weird journey so far. Do you not think? Do you think it's luck?
I honestly don't like. But this is what I wanted, though.
Yeah. So it can't be.
It's like this is what's funny, because I keep doing those Instagram things on the story where like people, they ask you questions, like everybody asks you questions and stuff, and you answer them so they can get to know you and stuff. So. And everybody always asks me, where do you see yourself, or what's the plan now? And I know it sounds stupid, kind of, because everyone always says you should always have a 5-year plan. But I never really say I have it. I said at the minute, I'm genuinely at where I actually wished I was, where I dreamt to be, and I'm doing what I want to do. And so right now, I'm just doing that, and everything that keeps coming along the way, I'm just taking it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sitting there going, I want to be the CEO of like that. I'm just enjoying, loving life, living in the moment, and taking everything as it comes.
Two things in there. The first one is the fact that you're actually enjoying the moment. A lot of people forget to sit and appreciate where they've got to. So you're doing that.
And this is, I do you know what? I sometimes on my phone, I think, do you know what? I just want to educate people on this, because if I could give myself advice before, and I would do it, but like I think like people get too upset about where they're not. Mm-hmm. They get upset about where they're not because they're not there yet, and they just forget about the whole journey. Like, I've enjoyed every second of it, like, and I continue to enjoy it, and I know where I can still go further, but I'm not like, I'm just enjoying what I'm doing now. And and I think too many people forget to enjoy the journey and beat themselves up about it a lot. And I guess it's easy for someone to say that's where they want to be, but I don't know. I just think it would make your life a lot easier.
Did you ever worry about, so when you were younger, did you ever worry, so say when you're going through college and you want to be an actor and you're trying your hardest and, it wasn't happening straight away, like, did you ever get worried?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was weird because in school, like, I went from some of my exams, one of my best exams, it was out of 120 and I scored 119, and it was my biggest play of the year, and I basically got full marks. Yeah. And it was like the best moment of I was like, holy fuck. I was like, I could not make this now. I was like, I was sick. I was gassed. And the next one was like, not nowhere near. It's still a good mark, like nowhere near as good as that. And I was like, oh shit. Like it can knock your confidence and stuff like that. But I don't know. You just gotta go with it.
You are an enigma. And what I mean by that is you're just one of a kind. I mean, you could easily watch someone on TV or watch them on a show and be like, oh, that's just the person that they are. But actually, what I get from you just through this conversation, we're speaking more now than we spoke before because last time we were in a meeting. But you seem very positive. You seem like a very happy person, but you also seem to take opportunities that are being presented. So you're not just going. I think a lot of people forget to take the opportunity. They'll see something, they go, it's not the right time, or it's not quite right, or whatever. And because of that, nothing ever changes in your life because you just saw the path. But yours has gone like this.
Yeah.
Taking opportunities.
Yeah, no, I feel like, do you know what? I honestly feel like I wish I could influence people the way I would more than I already do in terms of talking about this sort of things. I feel like I could help a lot of people, but the only thing is, if I try to do it like on Instagram or something like that, I would be afraid to look like some of these other, I'm going to say it, knobs that basically like. Do you know that you can tell a person when they're video recording themselves and they're trying to like there's a difference between talking about yourself and everything that you've achieved and actually or trying to inform people of like, I feel like, you know, some people try and gloat whilst they do it and show what they have and why they're here, rather than actually telling people, yo, like, honestly, guys, like, do you know what I mean? I can see sincerity a mile off, and I can see the difference between somebody that's trying to gloat about what they got and show off how good they are versus somebody that's actually trying to show wisdom in a different way. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but
do you think it's important to sort of reach back and try and help and get other people to join you on your level? Do you think that is your responsibility as you grow now to start helping other people come into the ranks?
Do you know what? It's only something that I've ever thought of, and that's recently, and that's the truth. Because I was always more about like chasing, you know, everyone wants to get there, everyone wants to be blah, 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 like that. But it was only something that I thought of recently. I was like, you know what? You actually like don't actually realize like how much you could help people, and you know how much people take on board what you say. And it was kind of a bit of a weird one. It was. It was like an epiphany moment, but you know how I will access that and do something with it is still yet to be executed.
I asked that question then because I was just genuinely interested, because I found that I could post stuff on Instagram and things like about motivation and how I feel and what I think like, and you know 90% of people won't understand it, but there's 10% that watch quietly, and they're the ones that you don't even know who they are. And one day they'll just message you out the blue and be like, "You've changed my life because you said this one day. I did this."
Mate, I know, and it's genuinely, it's frightening. Let me tell you something, because you won't look at it like this, but it's amazing when it's positive, but it's also frightening. And I'll tell you why it's frightening, and it's for this reason. When I signed up for Ibiza Weekender for the first series, nowhere in the contract does it say I am now not a human, I'm superhuman, so I don't make mistakes. Nowhere does it say I now take on board thousands of younger people looking up to me. I'm now a role model. I'm now this. I'm now going to be publicly executed not physically, but like, you know, if you do something wrong. Nowhere does it say that. Nobody's ready for that. So it's kind of like shit. Like these people are genuinely looking at you and taking out. But like, it kind of listen. I'm still me. And listen, I do stupid shit on the regular. So like, I don't. Sometimes it's like, don't look for me. I don't come for me to advise. Like, don't actually do that, because I fuck up, and I don't want to be the person that, you know, was, oh my god, everyone expected so much better, but like, and then something happens, because nobody deserves that, because nobody asked for that. Like, nobody asked to not be human when this happened. Like, it's still the same people, but just, you know, you get to see that live on camera.
But why do you think people perceive it a certain way? Because you're doing something completely different, and I think a lot of people don't understand that, because you're doing something so different, and as a result of that, they don't know how to respond and react. And then, so what do you think about that?
All I know is that I have been raised and brought up around such a good family and connected people and friends, is that I do not, in the best way, anything negative that comes my way, I generally couldn't. it entertains me. I could not give a shit. Number one, because it's catch-22, and you need the haters to get better and to go up anyway. So they're only feeding money into my pocket essentially, and also because I know what I am. I'm grounded. My family know what I am. Everyone who knows me knows what I'm like from bottom, head to toe, inside and out. So if these people that basically see this side of my life, which is on the TV for an hour, a couple hours a week, blah, 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 I think they could, it's just whatever. And anything to do with trolling as well. If anybody actually took their time out to comment any negative shit to anybody or anything like that, that just makes me laugh as well, because I would never do it, because I'm not a weirdo. So if you do it, then clearly you're a weirdo. So that means that anything you say to me is basically invalid. And that's it. That's how you deal with negativity from all scales. Boom.
That was good advice to me. That I've just been getting loads of really weird trolling recently, and at first I got, it does affect you. Like, you read it first, you're like, oh, I read it because I'm interested, but then I just don't care. And I think that the don't care mentality is hard to. A lot of people struggle to get to that I don't care.
Well, I know, and I honestly, and I know I don't try to shrug it off so easily because of the way I deal with it. Because I know that it can get peak, and I know that anything that I've had has been on a minuscule scale compared to some people that have had it on the absolute masses. I don't try to diminish how much hate they've had and how much it affected them, because I know it could be bad, but I just always try to remain about you. Just try and keep yourself connected to your true self, know who you are, and just think about the fact that would you ever speak to somebody like that or go out of your way to insult somebody that bad? And the answer is probably no. And if it is, then they are invalid to you. That person, whatever them people say, should be so irrelevant, because they aren't living life right, and they aren't seeing things the way you see them. So yeah.
No, that's a fantastic way of looking at it. And again, it's another sign to me that you're just a very positive person. So has that mentality just always been from the get-go, or is that built over time?
I think it was probably a blend of my mum and dad, to be honest. They're just two different people blend to one, and I kind of got the middle of it. So I'm kind of happy about that, to be honest. I always say to them, and it always I've got my mum's side and my dad's side, and I'm so happy that I got
I never actually asked the question. What did your mum and dad think of you going on to Ibiza Weekender?
Oh, they love it. They love it. They love it. They know I love it, and they love it anyway. But they just, all my family, the funny scenes, the bad scenes, they're like my whole family, for years, we've all, my big family would go around the TV on the first episode of every season. We all sit there and we're all just there screaming, it's bad. And no matter what happens, I've always got the support of that as well. So.
The story behind you is very interesting, but I'm getting a vibe, and I think that people who watch this or even listen to it will understand and get a vibe for who you are as a person and why it is that you're getting so far. And you do very much epitomise the fuck the norm mentality, which is, just look at you covered in tattoos. That's not normal.
You must have taken. You know what? It's actually funny. I was literally thinking the other day, because to me it's just normal now. And I sat down and I was thinking, fuck, do you know when I go, when I'm obviously when you start dating somebody, and she's gonna bring me round to their house to meet their parents, they're gonna look and think, fuck, what's she done? And I was just and then the thing is, I will literally just go, hi, and then hello, and then they'll just be like, oh fuck, he's all right, you know what I mean? But trust me, it's actually so peak for me meeting people, because I bet they look at me and think, who is this absolute guy?
I'm going to ask you one more question, and it was what I asked you to prepare, and it was that if you almost answered it before, but what if you go back to yourself and speak to yourself just after that exam, what advice would you give yourself in life?
Oh, okay. I know you should prepare it, but I didn't, so
that's
just
right.
Give me a sec.
If it's not
okay,
prepared.
So what advice do I give myself as 15? I guess I can't really give myself advice, because I guess you learn some. My dad would probably tell me to not get in any relationships and should have remained single the whole time, which I guess in some sense I would agree with. But at the same time, I guess you learn something from relationships. But the one advice that I would give myself would be I don't know, because I'm enjoying everything.
I feel like it's something along the lines of don't worry about anything. I feel like that's what. Actually, do you know what? I know what mine would be. My advice to me would be don't quit. Like you can, don't quit. You can get there. And when I say that, it would mean that there's certain things that I've always certain things that I know that I can do, like dieting or like the gym, and I've had so many on and off periods. You know, when you have your on and off periods, you're having it 5-6 nights a week. Your diet's on point, and you're looking sick, you're feeling good, you look healthy, and everything else is just around that. It's just great. And then you go for the periods where you go on holiday, you come back and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm just gonna allow it for 4 months. You know what I mean? And it would just be don't quit. Don't quit. You can do it, and it will be worth it on the other side. And that goes along with everything as well. You can get there, and it will be worth it on the other side. The graph. It sounds like you're enjoying it, but it sounds like you're getting somewhere in life. And look, I'm keen to see how you get on personally. I always keep an eye on people that I bump into throughout life that are interesting to me, and just see how people are getting on. But you seem to be awesome.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to say thank you for doing the show, and then I'm going to stop recording. So thank you for having me.
Legend. Thank you very much.